Good morning, everyone. Oh, yeah, I started messing with the new Twin Turbo 300 the other night. As you can see, I got some of it taken apart already. We got all the coil packs out, balance tube off, fuel disconnected. We took the cruise control out, just some basic stuff. I did a compression check last night, and the results were not great. So we're gonna go ahead and do another one today. There's a couple things I didn't realize. You're supposed to have the throttle pinned wide open, which I didn't have, but I don't think that's gonna matter too much. So we did get the car running yesterday, and sorry I didn't film, but I was having camera issues again. But we got it running by spraying starter fluid in at the throttle bodies, and we got it to run and actually run for about 10 or 15 seconds, and it didn't sound too bad. It sounded relatively healthy, but yeah. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and redo the compression test, and we're gonna do it dry, and we're gonna do a wet test this time, and just try to see what's going on. Alright, so actually the battery is dead, so we're going to go ahead and keep trying to take off the intake manifold and get to those injectors. So update time. As you can see, there is a lot missing now. Got rid of the dumbass Hicus steering. We're going to go ahead and delete all that. Pulled all the lines out and everything like that. The evaporator was already missing from the air conditioner, so we're going to go ahead and try to yank all those lines out. I still got one over here somewhere I got to get out. He had the PTU mounted right there, which is a terrible location. Like, who would do that? Why would you do that to yourself? I mean, this engine bay is crowded enough as it is. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on. He had no cooling fan on it. I guess he was using the cooling fan for the evaporator for the air conditioning as a cooling fan, which obviously isn't big enough. Just judging by the size of the radiator, already has cooling problems. So but we got our JDM headlights out, which is nice. We're going to keep those, or we're going to put them on the other 300. I don't really know yet. So yeah, for all you that were wondering or don't know about this TT, the intake piping on this thing is retarded. We're going to have to try to clean some, I don't even know. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm going to have to do research, but just to give you an idea, that mess of couplings and pipes is all of the coolant or the intercooler piping from one side. That's only half of it. So there's a whole nother pile of stuff like that I'm taking out now. So yeah, it is freaking insane. So also somebody painted both of the intercoolers black and blue for some reason. I don't really know. So needless to say, I'm sure they don't really work anymore because obviously somebody has painted over all of the metal fins. So I've been looking at a kit, and again, I got to do a little more research, but we deleted a lot of stuff from the front here since we don't have our air conditioning and a lot of the emission stuff. So I'm thinking about doing the front mount intercooler. They make a nice front mount kit that has 2 ins, 2 outs on both sides. They also make charge pipes that have a couple less couplings. I mean, we got to have more couplings than normal because it's the only way that you can actually get the pipes into the car. Like, you can't just have whole, pieces, or else they just don't fit. So We're probably going to go ahead and do some electric cooling fans instead of putting the old radiator style fan back on. I do have a huge fan out of a BMW. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can fit that in here and see how that would go. He had no timing covers on any of this, which obviously caused all the gears to rust and everything like that. So we're going to have to do something with that, clean those up, and maybe paint the surfaces of them or something. I don't know. I haven't made it that far yet. Obviously, the coolant pipes look like crap. We're going to go ahead and get the rest of that blue off and get those all cleaned up. It was leaking coolant. You can see the white on the water pump here, and down there on the bracket for the air conditioner, and over here, and all kinds of nasty stuff like that. I'm guessing, just a guess, but if it's not the coolant pipes, I'm guessing it's from these bypass hoses. Because as you can see, this one over here is swelled up like a balloon. So these are probably old as hell, never been changed. But again, I haven't started ripping that down yet. I've been kind of concentrating on getting the upper intake manifold off so that we can get to the injectors, and eventually here we're going to do our compression check. I still haven't done my second compression check with the wet and dry yet, so we're going to go ahead and do that and see what numbers we get, and hopefully not have to pull this motor. But if we do end up having to pull this motor, either now or in the future, I'm trying to make it relatively easy. So, nothing on this car is really easy, but I guess easier would be the word. So, alright, I'm going to have at it, and I'll check in with you guys again, hopefully when I have the intake manifold off so we can see what's going on. Alright everybody, it's been a long day. I've been tearing this thing apart for about 7 hours now. Yep. Got pretty far into it. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do basically like the same stuff we did on the other 300. We're going to go ahead and do all the emissions deletes, so EGRs, AIVs, PCV system, simplification, carbon canister is gone. So yeah, just basically all those things, and then we're going to go ahead and replace the fuel injectors. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm tired. I've been working my ass off. We're going to go ahead and replace the fuel injectors, which they are the old style fuel injectors. Hopefully we'll get to use the kit that we used from before. And then obviously we're going to go ahead and redo our wiring harness just like we did for the other one too. Try to get rid of some of that stuff and straighten it up. We're going to replace all our coil pack connectors and all of our fuel injector connectors, and anything else that might be damaged, and then we'll retape the whole wiring harness and everything like that, so it looks halfway decent. We might try to relocate this box too, depending on how much time we got. I see a lot of people relocate them underneath the fender here, now that we got all that stuff gone. So I don't know, we'll have to see how much time we have between waiting for parts and stuff like that. That's something that I'm looking into doing now. Just anything we can do to clean this engine bay up, because it is just a disaster. So, there's so much stuff crammed in here. But yeah, it's not looking too bad. We did finish up the compression test. I did a dry and a wet test. Obviously the rings are worn. I was getting right around about 120 to 130 psi on each cylinder dry. So, that's obviously at the lowest range of what you would want to see when working on a motor, but there's a couple factors that play into it. First of all, my compression tester is not a good compression tester. It is just a cheap Harbor Freight deal. So, there's no chance that it's really right, 100% accurate anyway. I'm obviously just more concerned in the variance, which the variance was good. I think the biggest difference between two pistons was like 12 pounds. So, we're not looking too bad there. Like I said, 120, 130 is on the lower end of what you'd want to see, but they were all even. So, I'm not too concerned about that. We put some oil in each cylinder, did the compression check again, and obviously got higher readings, usually around the 150s, 160 range. So, obviously it's worn rings. We knew that. I mean, it's 130,000 miles on it. It's a turbocharged model. So, what I was expecting. What I really want to do is obviously just get the thing on the road, have a little bit of fun with it. I don't expect it to last forever. Obviously, the motor is eventually going to need to be rebuilt. But hopefully it'll get us through the springtime and the summertime, and we'll get to have a little bit of fun and, go stomp on some Hondas. So that'll be nice. But, we still got a little ways to go. We got a lot of stuff to figure out with the ignition. I don't know if I ever told you, but the ignition on this car is literally just two wires you tap together to make it crank. So obviously there's something wrong with the ignition system, probably a bad relay or a broken wire or something like that, and somebody couldn't figure it out. So, we'll have to see if we can get that figured out while we got all this room opened up. So the air conditioning, most of the lines were still in, but the evaporator was gone, which I think I mentioned already. So we're going to go ahead and take the rest of the air conditioning compressor out, free up all that room down there. We're going to relocate our PTU to probably underneath where we had relocated it before. And we're probably going to do a pretty good cleanup on this one, because I think we're going to have a little bit of time between when I have money available, at least until I sell the other 300. So, but what we're going to do in the future here is we're going to take the timing setup apart, get that all ripped apart, just like we did on the other one, put a new water pump on, new bypass hoses, seal everything back up. Good there, hopefully better than I've done on Betty, because Betty's leaked twice now. And, we're going to find some front timing covers, because I don't like the idea of driving with no timing covers. I mean, I know it may look cool, but as you can see, the damage is all the gears are rusted. And I haven't even tried to take the cam angle sensor off yet, which I'm hoping isn't seized on there from the water, the moisture getting in there. But we're going to go ahead and find some timing covers, so we can get those put on. And, yeah, and then hopefully we don't find too many more surprises. But I did delete the Hikis. We're going to go ahead and get the Hikis delete bar for the lock for the back and take that whole thing off. I still got to reroute some pipes and stuff for that, and I still got some air conditioning lines to take out, so we're still working on that. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Not too bad. I'm still learning this car, obviously. So, but hey, if you like the channel, like, subscribe, share. Tell me what you want to see happen with this car, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.